Hi friends, welcome to my channel SG10. Now let us continue chapter 3. Fagin's Gang. What Oliver Twist did not know yet was that the Dodger belonged to a gang of pickpockets and robbers. Nor did he know that the Dodger's old gent, whose name was Fagin, was the ringleader of the gang. Fagin's house was in a very old part of London, and Oliver and the artful Dodger had to walk through a maze of dark, smelly streets to reach it. Oliver found that frightening enough, but he was even more scared when he met Fagin. Fagin was a very old, shriveled up creature with a villainous looking face and a mass of matted red hair. Come in, my boy. Fagin welcomed Oliver when the Dodger introduced him. We are very glad to see you. Something about Fagin's voice made Oliver feel cold all over, but the old man seemed kind enough. He gave Oliver a meal, then showed him to an old mattress where he could sleep. In the days that followed, the Dodger and other young boys in Fagin's gang went out picking pockets. They brought back many handkerchiefs, pocketbooks, and other objects, which Oliver was given to sort out. Oliver never suspected that these things were stolen until one day, when he was allowed to go out with the Dodger and another boy called Charlie Bates. The boy seemed to wander aimlessly through the street for a long time until suddenly the Dodger halted in a narrow passageway and drew his companions back against the wall. See that old fellow by the bookstall? He whispered, pointing to a prosperous-looking gentleman on the other side of the passageway. He will do for us. Very nicely, agreed Charlie Bates. Charlie and the Dodger slipped across to where the old gentleman stood reading a book he had picked up. As Oliver watched in growing alarm, the artful Dodger plunged his hand into the man's pocket, drew out a handkerchief and handed it to Charlie. Then the two of them ran at full speed round the corner and out of sight. Oliver felt a tingle of terror at what he had seen. It was out and out stealing, and he was involved. He began to run away, but it was too late. The old gentleman, whose name was Mr. Brownlow, had discovered that his expensive handkerchief was missing. Stop! Stop, thief! He shouted. He set off after the fleeing Oliver and was joined by a growing crowd of people. A big, rough-looking man soon overtook Oliver and gave him a hefty blow with his fist. Oliver fell sprawling in the mud. That's all in chapter 3. Chapter 4 will continue in the next video. Thank you.